can you please tell me your best guess for who the
How
best
about we
player in
talk
baseball
about
will be in the next 5 years? Like, give me answers
Sure.
right now.
All right, I'll go first since Eric copied off me. It's going to be simple for me. It's Shohei Ohtani. I mean, he's going to be a beast. He's going to pitch again. He's going to hit again. He's going to mash, and he is an absolute stud of a baseball player. Probably the best we're ever going to see play. We might ever talk about when we're probably 70, 80, 90 years old. Hopefully, we live that long. We will be talking about him for as long as baseball's around.
I love that you said that. I love that anytime anybody says Shohei Ohtani is the best player, because he is.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 years, that gives us enough time till his third Tommy John surgery. They give it like 5 to 6 years after the second one. So he'll be hitting, he'll be pitching. There's no doubt. It is Shohei Ohtani the next 5 years. If you ask me 10 years, then I'd probably start getting into like maybe the Bobby Witt train, maybe the fact that Juan Soto would be 36 and he'd be going like Hall of Fame status. So, but 5 years, Shohei Ohtani, I don't even think second place is very close.
Scott?
I'm with you. We'll show your two on the board, but I'm the same. I don't think it's close either. The only thing that I see preventing this is injury. That's it, right? If
of course.
the arm's a problem,
that's
can't stay on the field. Right,
yes,
that's right.
Everybody.
But Shohei's doing something that no one else is doing, right? He's playing two positions like this at such a high level, and he's had arm issues in the past. So I would say the percentage chance of injury could be a little bit higher for someone like this. But what, Kratz?
But he's got a back. He just won an MVP in the year that he got hurt. Like he hurt half of his value, and he won an MVP. Like he elevated his hitting. So, like, if Ronald Acuna gets hurt, because you got to go apples to apples. Everybody gets hurt. You lose your one ability. Shohei Ohtani gets injured. He can still hit. He gets injured pitching. He can still go out and hit and win an MVP. So I feel like the good money is on Shohei Ohtani here.
Todd, I feel like he was arguing with me even though I said Ohtani. That's worse than me saying, give me your best answer.
No,
I'm Ohtani. I'm Ohtani. I was saying the only
reason
why it wouldn't happen is if there's an injury, which, yes, you can say for anyone, but he is doing something that is so freaking difficult that nobody else has done it since Babe Ruth, and he wasn't doing it like this on a consistent basis. Here, let me throw this out at you guys. Part of the reason why we chose to do this was the answers that we saw in the article from friends at CBS. I don't see any Ohtanis on there. So two of the dudes picked Jr., and one picked Gunnar Henderson.
A couple Bobby Whips, a couple of Acuna. I mean, they're not bad picks, but
absolutely.
But the best over the next 5 years, you got a guy that can play both sides of the field. I don't know. I don't see that.
Nope.
If it's 10 years, it's different because age starts to factor in. But 5 years, even if Ohtani gives us 3 or 4 at the level that he's been at as a pitcher and a hitter, and if we want to just play the simplistic war game, he is going to fly past everyone based on him being able to do two things, to hit and pitch. I know he's not playing defense, but pitching and hitting, which no one else is doing like that. All right, next up, best team over the next half decade. And I'll present what these writers threw out there first because they've got 4 of them. 4 picked the Dodgers, although one pointed out Baltimore could be that team if they spent. And one picked the Red Sox.
You got to pick one. Ooh,
yeah.
Hey. Okay. Hey, listen, we don't know, but I guess we'll see. You want me to go first?
I mean, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. I want to hear what you have.
Well, I said the Mets, and there's 2 reasons why, and one big reason because Steve Cohen is not afraid to spend, as we know, and he brought over Juan Soto, who's an absolute stud of a baseball player. And I know Derek brought this up before, but this was one of my main points, that if Vladdy Guerrero doesn't sign big time, he's coming over to the Mets, and him and Soto together will make this team even more of a beast. So there's a lot of unknowns, but I think Cohen, with the way he spends and who he wants to get over the next half decade, I think the Mets will be that best team.
Okay, they'll be good. They'll definitely be good.
Are you guaranteeing?
I'm guaranteeing
I'm
the Dodgers will be the best team because they are not only stacked right now. I thought about the Braves, and you're like, okay, Braves are stacked for the next 5 years. Orioles, you can't discount the Orioles. I know they faltered at the end, and I think that leaves a sour taste. They're not spending
They're
money.
not spending.
They're good. They're not 5 years good. The Dodgers will stay consistent because they will get the next best player. They're going to – whoever that next best player is, they're going to go get them. They're going to cycle through. People are like, oh, well, they're going to age. These contracts aren't going to be very good. They'll just get the next best player. That's what they've been doing, and that's what they're going to continue to do. Oh, and they have one of the best farm systems that continually churns out value and people who step in and have success in the big leagues.
I love both answers here. I love that
Thank
Podfather gave us a little bit of uniqueness. You want to factor in a farm system. You want to factor in resources. Of course, you want to factor in who's currently on the roster. But, man, I love this rivalry. I love that graphic, too. That's really good. We got a little L.A. field, but also a little big apple and right
Big
center.
Apple, baby.
Yeah, I like it. I like that little morph that we got. All right, last one. How many teams will there be in 2030?
Oh my God, we got the same number too. I think it's going to be 30. I was looking over this. Each division has 5. I mean, you bring another team or two involved, it messes with the whole lingo. Then when you have just 2 sides of 16.
Yes. No. Wait. No. Hold on, Kratz. I'm gonna do some math here. Yeah. What 32 would be a much easier number for the league from a math perspective.
I don't see. It would have to be an even number. It'd have to be 2 more teams, and I see they want to expand to another team, but that would just mix everything up. I would love to see it.
No, I mean, if it happens, it'll be 32. The reason I said 30 is because we're not close enough to having these stadiums. And Manfred said it, that we have to figure out the A's situation and the Rays situation. And if we were locked in 100%, the plans are good to go by 28, where they're into their new stadiums, then I'd say yes. If you told me 7 years, I would change my number to 32. I think it'll just take a little bit to really solidify this Vegas/A's situation and the Rays situation. It seems solidified. Now maybe it's not. This is giving teams an opportunity. I don't know when Manfred's contract's up, but it would be something that if his contract's up in 30, maybe he would have, the desire to make sure there was 2 more teams in. I just don't think it's going to happen in the next 5 years.
No, what you're saying makes sense. First of all, yes, there'll be 2 teams added. It will happen at some point. But think about this. If Manfred gets it done before the end of his tenure with it, which I think is around that time period, now you add usually at least about 4 years for the ballpark to be built. So let's say figure this out by 2027. I think that's probably a good over-under, 2027.5. Do they get this figured out in the next 2.5 years? Okay, so if they figure it out by 2027, you're not getting a team in by 2030. So I'm with you, Kratz. The early 2030s is when we will have 2 fresh franchises. And the reason why the cities get confusing right now is Vegas was definitely in the mix for an expansion franchise. That supposedly is not happening, as we continue to at least get some news that the A's are moving along with what they're doing to get themselves over there. Nashville is always used as the threat by teams right now, like the White Sox, who are trying to get a new ballpark. I think the Rays have tried to float that out there when they had their battles. Yep, Montreal. So in my mind, I think if no other teams relocate between now and when we get those 2 new teams, Newark, New Jersey will not be one of the teams that gets a franchise. The 2 that I have on my list, because it's going to be 1 East Coast, 1 West Coast, and they will completely redo how Major League Baseball looks. They will have East and West, the whole deal. Some of you will love that. Some of you purists will hate that. You will have Nashville, you will have Utah. Those will be your 2 new teams. What do you guys think?
Ooh. All right. Well, I like both of those, but I'm thinking Atlantic City and I'm thinking of Salt Lake City.
Well, Salt Lake City is correct. That is the one that I chose as well. So I'm with you there.
Hey everybody, be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.